Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 21st. You have this divine intervention card. It says, angels are working behind the scenes to assist in the miracles you've requested. You have this dolphin spirit says, stop taking life so seriously and splash some joy in your everyday life. I thought that said and enjoy, but I definitely feel that you need to start enjoying life because the energy has been too serious, I think, for Pisces just for a long time. And, the energy is also, the energy is still asking you to be serious. We still have Saturn in Pisces for a little while longer. But at the same time, I think that when the energy is very serious, that we also should go the opposite direction and make sure that we're being, playful, that we're having fun, that we're not just focusing on, everything being so serious in our lives. And I definitely get that energy from this reading. You start with the Emperor, which is a very serious card. We'll talk about it. The Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands. This is coming up in your current general energies. And the Emperor, like I said, is a very serious type of vibe going on there. And he's kind of like down to business. And that's what I'm getting for you here with that Emperor energy. The Four of Wands also with the Emperor, one thing I will say is that, sure, this could represent love, right? The Emperor, you have the Two of Cups here, Four of Wands, marriage. But I kind of get this energy of you needing to focus more on creating more freedom in your life. Like if all you're doing is working 60 hours a day, then how can you carve out some time for yourself? And I think that there is a hard work energy for whatever reason in this reading, which is again not a bad thing, but at the same time, I think that it's a little bit too serious. Like, look at the Emperor's face. He is being too serious about everything that's going on. And I also feel like a little bit of a release. It's funny, you end with this surrender card. And, it's like whenever you want something like really, really bad and you keep thinking about how you don't have it, right, you never get it. So I have a message like that popping into my head as well with this energy in this reading. I kind of feel like it's saying that you have to surrender to not having something you want. And the second you do that, I think you're going to get it, right? And I'm definitely getting that vibe off this reading. You have the Nine of Wands. I do feel a little bit of changing your old story with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, but he's kind of looking back at all his wounds, all the things that happened to him, but he has that one wand still in his hand. He needs to realize that he hasn't failed 8 times, those 8 wands behind him. He has learned how to avoid things and he has learned lessons, but he's also learned positive things, even from the negative things that have happened to him, and that should give him strength on his journey. And I feel that for a lot of you. It is kind of an intense week. What I would say is if you're watching this early, then you're watching it before the Aries full moon. If you're watching it during the week of the 21st, then we already had the Aries full moon. But that full moon was kind of serious in a lot of ways, a very serious energy. And I feel like the Nine of Wands is just encouraging you to keep going, right? You have the Five of Wands. It is interesting that you go Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles to the Two of Cups here. This could be you being guarded around love, or you could have a desire for love right now a little bit more, which does make sense based off the astrology for you, that you could be thinking about love a little bit more than you normally would. And I kind of feel this is saying that you need to, it's almost like encouraging you to come out of the cold with the Five of Pentacles to the Two of Cups. But, there could be some conflicts from the past that you have to release. These could be things that happened to you, could be, part of your love story, or, could be some experiences you've had. And I think it would be a great week for you to just work through that stuff and get rid of it so that you can attract something better. With the Emperor, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Again, I think that this, that full moon, the Aries full moon on the 17th, is actually pretty positive. Again, I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and it's some people are, going the negative direction with it. Some people are going the positive direction with it. And, I really feel that it's happening in your second house, Aries, which can be interesting, especially because it's kind of opposing that eclipse that we had in Libra October 2nd. And, there are some squares and some other things going on. It's kind of forming this cardinal square in the astrology as well, between all the cardinal signs in astrology. And, those cardinal crosses are considered to be very challenging. But at the same time, I've been feeling that it's actually going to be pretty good for Pisces. So this could be improving your finances, or you growing your finances during this time. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. there's like so much conflict right here, sorry, wrong camera. Right here, the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. He's feeling like alone because he's been through all these battles and now he's trying to continue his journey alone. And then you have the Five of Wands, which is like conflict and competition. I feel like the Three of Pentacles, of course, is teamwork or working together with people. And so I feel that realizing that like not everyone is going to hurt you with this right here is kind of what's popping into my head. Some of you maybe have been thinking about this recently, about like past hurts or the past times where people have kind of hurt you or something like that. I think the other thing that's popping into my head here with this Emperor here, Pisces, is the fact that maybe you are learning that you have to be in the driver's seat. If you're working together with like other people and you're not taking the lead at this time, then you're probably going to experience conflict. I feel like if you enter into relationships, and we're not just talking about love here, we're talking about everything, where you do take the lead and you are in the driver's seat, things will go much better. With the Five of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I do feel that some of you could be overcoming some sort of conflict, or you could be it's not like you're changing the conflict, but I do feel that the energy itself is changing around the conflict. And again, for some of you, I looked at this Death card, and I didn't want to say it, but now I'm going to say it, that, this could be like a past person where you're clearing up the karma, or you're clearing up the situation. And I'm definitely not saying that you're going back to this person. Like with the Wheel of Fortune, I definitely would not repeat a cycle, but you could be like clearing up past karma, or a past issue or something like that. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Enchanted card and this Truth card. So like I said, the Truth card plus the Death card was kind of saying to me that a past person could be coming in and delivering the truth. This could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's just going to depend on the situation. So you're going to have to be honest with yourself, right? If you don't want to talk to a past person, then I would make sure that you do whatever you can to not talk to them. But if you do want clarity, or if you do want closure, then it could be a great time to get that closure and kind of like move forward. And, that's what I feel like this is saying. Funny enough, on that Enchanted card, the message I'm getting is that you need to invite more of that Pisces magic into your life. Believing in manifestation, believing that you can make things that are bigger than you happen. All that stuff is popping into my head. And again, with the serious energy that we're getting off the first row, I think that it's like 3D. And I think that you need to think more like a Pisces at this time. You have the Death card, so there is a big change that's coming in for you. The Death card can just simply represent some sort of big change that's coming in for you, or some sort of transformation. You even end again with this, you have this Transition card, so you could be experiencing a transition, like you're going from one thing to another, and I think all of that would be good for you with the Death card. I feel rather positive with this Death card as well, so I really I think this is a positive change. For those of you that are interested in love, by the way, Pisces, I kind of feel that there is a person that you don't even know about. You know what's really funny as well that's popping into my head is I feel like some of you Pisces might have your eye on a person, but like I feel like this is a totally different person, that you don't even see yet. So again, I'm not telling you like keep your options open, but what I am saying is you might be looking at someone and thinking like they're your person. I don't think you've talked to either person yet in this situation, but I feel like there's another person that you don't know about that you're about to meet right here that is like a really solid person to be with. So I would say that expect the unexpected in love. Next, you have the Five of Pentacles. I feel it's time for Pisces to heal their financial karma, especially if you have any stories surrounding your parents. Like, we all have stories, like we were all raised a certain way, and there are certain stories that our parents gave to us about money, and I think that's like a big, major theme that you could work on for the rest of the year, for sure. The energy is really good for it, and also for you to correct it, right? For you to totally change the story. And I would just look at things like, are there things that your parents did that you do now, right? And with your money, and how can you change that story so that you improve your finances? And that's really what I feel the Five of Pentacles is talking about. You have the Four of Cups. Again, I think you've been disappointed too many times in a row. And the Four of Cups is like a new offer that's being offered to you, and I just feel like you have to be open to the new offers and opportunities that are coming your way. I feel like you need to believe again in the magic, like believe that the magical things can happen. I think Pisces has a hard time in the real world, of course, because, again, we want to live in that magical world where good things happen, or where maybe some of the delusional thoughts that we have can actually happen, and then they don't, and we get disappointed. But I feel this is like encouraging you to believe in your magic again. With the Death card, you have the Seven of Swords. Yes, I would be careful of a past person, like I said. We have a bunch of retrogrades going on after the 11th. Well, today is the 14th, so obviously it's after the 11th. But the personal planets start going retrograde. Venus, Mercury, and Mars, not all at once, but between now and the end of the year, all those planets will go retrograde. So again, if someone was a liar, cheater, stealer, I would be careful of it. The other thing I'm getting is that, I think that you need to embrace your unique approach to everything that you're doing. I think most people think of life like a maze. They go through the maze and they just, zip around and eventually they get to the finish line. To me, out of all the signs, Pisces has the best opportunity to, here's the start, to just skip forward to the end. I think Pisces' unique ideas can sometimes be brilliant and can sometimes just get you to skip over the maze, and then you don't even have to go through the maze. The problem is what I said to you last week. I remember what I said to you last week, is that there's nothing to compare your story to, so there's no example of anyone who's done what you're about to do in your life. Number two, people definitely cannot see what you are about to do. So if you're working on any big projects or businesses, it is not going to make sense to anyone, but again, it doesn't matter because it only needs to make sense to you. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Three of Cups. Yes, there's a person, I think there's a person who really is going to show you that they want to work on a team. So I would say that it is safe for you to open up to new love, especially with that Two of Cups. I do feel like there is some sort of difference here. Could be an age difference with the King of Swords. You could be older, they could be older. Take it how it resonates. But, I feel like there is a person who really wants to work together. With the Four of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. I do feel like Pisces needs to be more picky right now with what they are giving their energy to. And so the Eight of Cups says if it doesn't serve you, you need to leave. Even if that upsets people, or even if it makes people angry, or even if they're never going to talk to you again. So I think you need to really kind of put yourself first is what this energy is saying. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this imagination card. It says creativity, inner child, and inspiration. Like I said, magic. I think you need to believe in that Pisces magic again. You have this owl. It says prophecy, attentiveness, and secrets. I think you need to kind of be creative in how you reveal things to the world, whatever it is that you're working on. I think the whole entire reading has said more playfulness because we get that serious energy off the first row. So this is definitely encouraging you to let out your inner child and to be a little bit more playful. You have the Two of Cups, the Temperance card, and the Queen of Wands. I really like the Two of Cups with the Temperance card because the Temperance card, the Temperance angel, is mixing together two cups. So again, there could be a person who's different than your usual type coming in for you. And again, this week, if you're watching this video early on the 15th, I'm going to publish this video of October. So if you're watching this early, the week of the 14th and next week are really good for finding love. But you have to leave the house. You have to go socialize. You have to be in public. You have to meet people. And so if you do that, then you have the opportunity to meet a person. Again, they could be different than your usual type, Two of Cups. This could also be something that starts as communication. Usually, this right here is the Staff of Hermes, which is Mercury. So this could be something that starts a little bit slower, or maybe you just start communicating and it kind of goes from there. I also kind of feel for some of you, it's like the total opposite. Like maybe you start as friends with benefits and then it turns into a connection as well. So I don't know. It's kind of like popping into my head as two different approaches to something that could be really good for you. You have the Temperance card, again, the mixing together of the two cups. This could be a very solid connection if this is a person coming in for you. I also feel that you need to start mixing your ideas together. And on top of all that, I think that you need to get started on a journey. This is the path to glory right here with this crown that's glowing in the background. Sometimes I feel that the Temperance angel is trying to make things perfect when things will never be perfect. He could easily step off onto that path. He doesn't need to keep trying to perfect something that he's trying to perfect right here with the pouring the two cups back and forth, right? He could just get on that path and get his crown. And so I kind of feel like whatever you're thinking about starting at this time, or whatever, you've probably been thinking about starting something for a long time, now is the time, is what that card's saying. You have the Queen of Wands. Yes, learn as you go. Queen of Wands has no clue where she's going. She just knows, the only thing she knows is that she needs to follow the sunflower. Right here, the sunflower points towards the sun. So she needs to point towards her happiness, her joy, the things that bring her joy in her life. And she's also my card of learning as you go. So whatever you're about to do, again, you're not going to be able to perfect this situation with the Temperance card. You're going to have to learn as you go. But as long as you do that, you will be fine. With the Two of Wands, Two of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is like very spontaneous. I do kind of feel like this could be a very spontaneous thing. Again, I'm telling you right now, some of you I think have your eye on a person, and for others I feel like you don't. But I think this is like going to happen in a very spontaneous manner. Like you're going to be in public and you're going to meet a person, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Or maybe you've been working with a person for a while and all of a sudden you fall in love with them. Like it feels very random and spontaneous. So it definitely could be random and spontaneous. It also could be a fire sign, or a Scorpio is also popping into my head as well. It could be any sign. This is a general reading, but it could be like a sign that you wouldn't expect. With the Temperance card, yes, this is all you need. Confidence. The Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is going to be successful, and you truly deep down inside believe that you can make something a success, that's when it will be successful. So for those of you working on like goals, wishes, dreams, projects, changes, transitions, we go down from like the Death card down to the Fool. And the Fool's coming up in the good stuff, of course, but this could say that you're ready to take a leap of faith. And that Seven of Wands says when you are 110% committed, that's when you will be successful. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, like I feel like you're about to be more free, is what I would say. We kind of said this at the beginning of the reading, but I feel like you've been too bound to something, almost like a prison, And I feel like the Eight of Wands is you getting out of prison or you setting yourself free, like we said, and this feels really good. It's going to come through moving towards your purpose, your passions with that Queen of Wands, again, moving towards the sun. In the area of the good stuff, you have this transition card and the surrender card. The less attached you are to outcomes, the more successful you will be with that surrender card. Like literally at the beginning of the reading, I was getting that you have to stop wanting something. It's which is weird, I know, but it's not really about wanting. I almost feel that it's more of that yearning energy where it's like you, instead of focusing on wanting something, I feel like you're really, if you look at your wants, I think that you are more focused on the lack, right? The lack side of things. I think it's perfectly okay to want things, right? But I think the energy we go at it with is what's kind of important here. I hope I'm not confusing you, but I think you need to come at the things that you want as if you already have them, right? And I would change your energy here, and I would also just surrender it to the universe as well. The transition card is definitely saying you're going through a major transition. You have the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Fool. I'm hearing you're right. I think you're right about everything, Pisces, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Pisces, but I think that in a lot of, like in the future, maybe not right now, but I think over the next 10 years that you are going to probably hear that you were right quite a bit. And this is from people, from situations that you were involved in, pretty much everything. And so I feel like you need to operate as if you're always right, because I feel like you are always right here, Pisces, and the King of Swords has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So, but the funny thing is I think you've had a lot of issues over the years where people come to you for help, you tell them what to do, they don't accept your advice, and then you just wasted your time. And, I feel like you need to be right on your own. It's like, so like this would represent not worrying about other people so much, kind of like focusing on making your life right, and then becoming an example, which I think is a great thing to do right now. And that's what I would do with that card. You have the Four of Wands. Definitely could represent marriage. Again, I do feel if you are meeting a person here that it could move very quickly. You're probably not going to get married like today, but definitely could be getting married in the future, or definitely could, this could be something that leads to marriage in the future. You also have the Fool. This is not working today, but the Fool is about taking a leap of faith towards a new beginning. But this is like a much more happy, joyful kind of new beginning that's coming in for you. So I feel that for a lot of you. With the King of Swords, you have the Hangman. I told you this is you. The Hangman, normally his head is glowing, and he has gained a lot of like wisdom, knowledge, and insight. And so I feel that, really, again, that you have a lot of knowledge that you need to share, but I would share it through being an example, meaning, make your life the best that you possibly can, and all the things that people ask you about, just show, don't tell, right? With the Four of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is stability, and Especially in the good stuff, this could represent you stabilizing your finances, which again is a big focus for you right now. Is stabilizing your finances, but also getting off the hamster wheel. You can make a lot of money and have no money, right? Like I know plenty of people that make a lot of money on paper, but they have no money, and they're always like spinning their wheels. They're never getting ahead, and so I feel that here, where it's like you need to get to a place where you have money and you're also like not working, like I said, 60 hours a day, trying to make that money. With the Fool card, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups says follow your heart, so I definitely feel we are in a time where you have to follow your heart. Also, she says that you need to follow your intuition. She also says that you need to heal yourself. So this is coming up in the good stuff, and I think it could be a good time for you to heal your heart. You have this chair filled. You can't make this up. It says someone new is entering your life. You can't even see this person's face on this card. I'm telling you, if you have your eye on a person, it's not that person. Although I think like tarot isn't set in stone, right? So you could always date the person that you have your mind on. But I just see another person approaching you. The other funny thing is I almost feel like two things here. Like there's a person who's like too afraid to approach you, and that's probably the person you have your eye on. But I feel like there's another person that's gonna blow that person out of the water. So again, I wouldn't even worry about it. I definitely feel there's a new person coming in. You have this harp. It says great happiness. Yeah, this is what I would focus on is your own happiness. Nine of Pentacles, which you start with, is heaven on earth. But the Nine of Pentacles says you have to focus on heaven on earth. So you have to do the things to create your own little slice of heaven here on earth. And that's exactly what I would be doing with this energy. You have this claw. It says, "Be careful. Do not take risks." I don't. I think we're in a time where we have to take risks. This is more saying don't take uncalculated risks. Make sure you're taking calculated risk. You have this money path card. It says a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Yes, definitely. And it's much more easy, and it's not hard work. Like, don't be thinking hard work. Think, how can I do this efficiently? And that will lead to success. Next, you have this goldfish. It says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Definitely improvements in your finances, especially if you've been worried about money. I feel a lot of you are improving your finances, but this looks really good, Pisces. A lot of good stuff going on here. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.